Hi and welcome to the walkthrough for the Eastside Postcard / flyer. When you get your link, it will look something like this. Sorry, when you're directed to the page from your link, it will look something like this. You hit Use Template and this will bring you directly into your own Canva account, and you can go ahead and start swapping out the photos with your own. The very first thing I would urge you to do is File, make a copy, so that you have a copy of this original on your home page if you ever need to access it, so that you don't have to re-download it if you ever take a few left turns or make a mistake. It's just a really easy way to go back and say, okay, I want to start over. You can do that. Then you want to upload your photos, so you head over to Upload Media, choose where your listing photos are located and upload them, and then it'll look similar to this, and you can go ahead and start swapping out your photos, these photos, for your own. I'm just going to do a couple to show you what that looks like. You hover it over the photo box, and as you can see, it popped right into place very easily. You double click on it to move it around however you want, and then when you're happy with it, you click out of the frame. I'm going to do one more. See, it popped right into place. I'm even happy with that, how it popped into place. Now, if you need to change the color of anything, you just select the element whose color you want to change. Head over to the color panel, and you can choose any color that you'd like. And then Canva is going to ask you down at the bottom here if you want to change everything. So if you want to change all instances of this color to that, hit yes, and that way when we go to our second page, everything's already changed for us. It's a really simple little hack that just saves you some time. If you need to change the font, you can highlight the font that you want to change, head over to the font panel, and you can either upload your own brand fonts if you have Canva Pro, or you can choose from the many free fonts that Canva has. If you need to change the size of anything, you can do that here. So when you hit File, Print, Bleed, it will show you where the printer is going to cut the file. So as you can see, this Modern and Comfort are both on the cut line, and that's completely intentional. It's stylistic, so we want it to look like it's kind of bleeding off of the page a bit. If you don't want that look, then just move it over. Just give it a nice healthy margin, and you'll be able to see it like this. If you need to change the spacing between the letters, you head over to the spacing tool, and this way you can give yourself a little bit more room or less room depending on the size of the word that you have in this box. Another option would be to change the text size itself. Head over to the second page. You have a text box here that is 10 point, which is small. So if you need to increase the size, you can hit 12, and you can remove this details section if you have more copy that you'd like to include and you want it to be super crisp and clear and a larger font size. So just to give you an idea, 12 is standard. That's the standard size for letters. So whenever you receive a letter in the mail, you're receiving it at 12 point most likely. So if you do need to add more text, you can do that here. Okay. And again, if you have a longer address URL, you can head over to spacing and adjust that. If you want to change this to just sold, you can do that as well, and then you can increase the spacing to fill out the size a bit over here. So let me just change this to sold. And then because I've increased the sizing, it fills it out a little bit nicer. If you don't like that look, you can just decrease the sizing, and then it looks good like that. When you're uploading your headshot, so when you're popping your photo into the frame and it's too close to the dotted line, her hair is going to get cut off here. So you just want to leave a very nice margin between the edge of your head and the dotted line. We don't want you to get cut off in print. You also want to keep that in mind for everything. So this dotted line is where the printer is going to cut your document. So just take a look at that and make sure that there's the same amount of space that's on this side. And then I even like to add a little bit extra just to be super safe. So you're looking for a margin about that size on this side of the document. So as you can see, you could probably afford to do a little bit more, but not much. You want to be very careful with your text and everything else. And if you have a longer email address, you can head over to spacing and just adjust the spacing like this. if you need more room, if you need less room. It's a cool little trick. Now this is where you'd put your brokerage logo, and if you need to change the dimensions of that, you just go ahead and do that like that. And this, let's just pretend, is your brokerage logo. And then what I did here, you can see that there's transparency on here. That's just to match colors. So if you have a white logo that you're bringing in and it's just so white and it doesn't match, you can always head over to this transparency tool and just adjust it ever so slightly. And then when you are playing around with it, you'll notice that it'll start adopting the color behind it. So that's another little trick that's helpful when you're trying to match colors in a document. When you are ready to print, you can head over to the download button and you want to hit PDF print high quality, crop marks and bleed if you're sending it to a professional printer, and then download. And once it's downloaded, I like to just give it one more once over, and it looks great. So I am ready to go to print. What I'm looking for here is the crop marks to make sure that nothing's going to get cut off. That's all that I'm concerned about when I'm looking after it's been downloaded. I want to make sure that none of my very important information is getting cut off. If it's good to go, you're ready to send this to the printer. If you need any more help or you want to take a look at any more walkthroughs, you can visit 4thstreetcreative.com/tutorials. And that's it. Happy designing.